Chat, what's going on, yo? What's going on, chat? What's going on, chat? I just came from playing Apex. Got my ass whooped badly, like badly, bruh, badly. Have you played the Stanley Parable? Nah, I haven't played it before. Barely visible. Eee. Right there is good, right? You know what I'm saying? Right there. Into my current time. Like, what? Um, okay.
WAG
Yo, what's going on, buddy? Yes,
WAG
what's good, buddy? Yeah, it's 2 o'clock in the morning for me right now. Notes, accessibility settings can be as okay, but the end is never the end. It's never the end. It's never the end.
This is
Okay.
the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Hit that like button,
Employee
gang.
427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long
Okay.
to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Okay.
Although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Okay.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley.
What was
Something
that?
he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as
Okay.
he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
On my left. What if I went to my right? Let's go to the right one.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Okay.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
I mean, this room is
Stanley
tight. I
simply stood
mean,
here, drinking it all in.
type. It's type tough. I ain't gonna hold you. This room is type dope.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Yeah, bro. What the fuck, bro? Why you talking to me like that,
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected
bro?
poorly on
What,
his overall personality. It's
nigga? What?
possible that this is why everyone left.
Yo, nigga, what? Bro, what the fuck?
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Alright, bruh. Yeah, what the fuck? Why is he talking shit? Like, what the fuck? Alright.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Nah, bro. Nah, I ain't, nah. Fuck out of here, bro. I'm going here.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Alright.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not
Uh,
your enemy, really, I'm not.
you're
I
not.
realize that investing your trust in someone else can be
It's a
difficult,
door
but
right
the
there.
fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
I don't give a fuck about what you're talking about.
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that
No.
convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how
Facts,
to
bruh.
convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
No, I didn't. I walked through the blue door.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
I walked through the blue door. Right.
I still don't think we're communicating
Holy
properly.
shit.
Stanley walked through the red door.
Bitch, I walked through the blue door. Fuck is you talking about?
All right, fine, go ahead.
Every
Stanley.
damn time.
You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Alright, bet. Don't
See?
stop me.
There's nothing here. I
Okay.
haven't even finished building this section of the map because
Why
you were
not?
never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see.
Shit,
Help
my
me here,
bad.
Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Do I really want to, though? Do I really want to? I mean, fuck it, right? Why not? Yeah. Let's see what's
Okay,
up.
I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you
Damn.
say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
I mean, the game's decent. I'm not
Oh,
gonna.
of course. A 3. Really?
I
Maybe next
mean,
time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings? Does that sound
right,
good? Think we can do that? Yes? Hmm?
bro. Why is he cooking me, boy?
Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid,
Previous.
I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
What you mean previous? I didn't even. I never played this game before. Stanley Parable. Okay.
Talking more shit, damn.
Right. Skip the sequence. Yeah. At the bottom. Damn, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. Should I go back there? Chat, should I go back there or nah? Should I actually, like, you know what I mean, go here? Because he wanted me to go to the left.
Nah.
Should I? So it goes to the, which one? The middle door? Left, middle, or right?
Middle.
Middle? Alright. See what's going on.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you
Damn.
feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, Honest answers, please.
Bro, first off, no, bro. Get a dick.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't
Okay.
mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Put it up.
In this game, the baby
Oh,
crawls left towards
shit.
danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I
I
think the
mean,
art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for
New
about
app.
4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
I'm not gonna lie, that ain't my baby. That's not my baby game.
You heartless bastard.
You the one
Did
who
you
did
do
it,
it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the
bro.
latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey,
Was it?
my
Pumpkin
game was so
facts
awful.
full.
Why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Bro, he's cooking me, bro. Cooking me. Oh,
Ah, fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
I
But it
forgot what
seems
game this
obvious to
is.
me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of
I
total
can't do
mental
shit.
depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Okay. Say shit. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Oh no. No, 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 it can't be.
What? What?
It is.
Can't be what?
It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
Oh, damn. What?
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to
I get
us
it.
out of here. Let's find another game.
I
Preferably
get it.
something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Guess he wants us to appreciate games as that's
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility
Hey, yo,
that you
crazy
get
man,
lost
bro.
here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Yo. Yeah.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see.
Rocket
There are
League.
lots of cars here in the
Right.
but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Did I really? Hey. You know what I'm saying?
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked... Hold on. What are you doing? Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
What? Whoa! What the what? 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 Bro, what? What's happening?
These are just like my dreams.
Yeah. Bro, what this? What is this?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh,
Mm.
yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Yeah. Okay. Should we listen to him now?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Hey, yeah.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm going downstairs, bro. I'm trying to get out of here. I don't care about what's going on, bro. Nobody's here. Go home.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He
You couldn't
considered
do
the
it.
possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for
Yo,
no
bro,
reason
what
at
the
all.
fuck?
None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever
Bro,
he
what the
went?
fuck?
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief.
Yo, bro, what the
Stanley
fuck is he
felt
on
to
about,
have
bro?
finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical
Yo, bro, what the
starfield.
fuck?
And it too appeared. It was so much fun. and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he
Bro.
remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me.
Yo, this nigga talk
thinking about
a
how
lot,
it's
bruh.
describing my thoughts, he thought.
This
And
nigga
when
talk
he
too
thought
much,
it all
bro.
very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course,
Yo, how do I
this
get
was not a
out, bro?
dream.
How do I get
What
out,
could
bro?
it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
They don't know we to shut up.
So he closed his
Right.
eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back,
An asterisk.
the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Bro, what the fuck? Okay.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake
Yo,
me
what
up.
the
My name
fuck?
is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This
Shit
is
loud
the
as hell,
story
man.
of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
Why did the feel kind
Rose,
of deep?
got dressed, gathered
Right.
her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
Oh,
But on
shit.
this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
Yo.
Then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
What? So I
What makes something real though?
um crazy man on to something. Hold on. Wait, so hold on.
Raised eyebrow thinking face.
Wait, okay, so did I die? Did I die or something? First off, we don't do music. We don't do music. I mean, pause, interact, look, move, crouch.
All of
Okay,
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
yeah.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
All right.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
We're gonna go to the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I actually don't.
Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nah.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking, this is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
Bro, what is he
She's
on
been
about, bro?
waiting.
Bro, what is he talking about?
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her.
Reach out to who?
If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
My wife? What the fuck? Death? I don't fucking know. What? What?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Oh, I don't got no bitch, bro.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Nah.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Oh, shit. All right, you got it. You got it, big bro.
That's messed up.
Right.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Damn.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
What the
Now
fuck?
he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
This nigga talk too much, bro. No, bro. I'm not pressing square, bro. Nah. You can prove your little ugly ass point. Hell no. Get me out of here, bro. Get me to the door, bro. Wow, bro.
But in his
Wow.
mind,
Wow.
in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind
I gotta
his
sit
desk,
through
Stanley
him
dreamed
roasting
of
me,
wild expeditions
cooking
into
me.
the unknown,
Ugh.
fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
I don't want to keep hearing this nigga talk, bro. I want to.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Bitch, you said you had bread in the oven. Where that shit at?
As he wandered through this fantasy world,
What the
he began
fuck?
to fill it with many possible paths and destinations.
Bitch, where the
Down one
kitchen
path
at?
lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called
What?
it the Stanley Parable. It was
Bruh.
such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end,
Average crack
that he
had
might
experience.
always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Bro.
But
Can
there
we
is no
just...
answer. How could there possibly be?
What the
In
fuck?
reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has.
Bro,
Nothing
what
has
am...
changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Am I back at work?
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop.
Bro, you're killing me.
Stanley, the next time the screen asks
Goddamn,
you
you
to push a
talk too
button,
much, nigga.
do
Damn.
not do it.
Wait, you said do not do what? Press the button? I'm gonna press
You
it.
see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains
Bro, open
here,
this
he's electing
motherfucking
to kill
door.
himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the
Don't press it.
I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as
Alright.
Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
It's too late now. Yo, what is this, bro? Okay.
Dan,
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley
Okay.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So am I listening? Am I going to the left side? Am I going to the right side? I'm going to the left side. I'm going to the right side. Right
This was
side.
not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly
No.
well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley
The
took the
opposite of
first open
everything
door
he
on his
says.
left.
All right. I'm do the opposite.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your
Nigga.
enemy, really, I'm not.
Nah,
I
you my
realize
top
that
op right now,
investing your
boy.
trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you
Uh-huh.
all this time.
Uh-huh.
There's someone
Yeah.
you've been neglecting, Stanley.
Oh, yeah?
Someone you've forgotten about.
Oh, yeah?
Please. What? Really? I was
Yeah.
in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you
Yeah.
that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important.
Yeah.
Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here.
You're in the
I haven't
same
even finished
spot.
building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time
Specific
into it?
line for
Because I
you.
did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Nah, bro. You take that shit for a spin, boy.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
going to
damn.
stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Bitch, that should have won, boy.
I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that?
Eat that shit, bitch.
I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here,
That's right.
based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect.
Oh, nigga,
Let me boot
damn.
it up.
Bruh.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So
Yo,
why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective?
4 hours of
Be sure to
play.
keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard.
I'm not
You
playing with
do it
him.
because you hate babies or purely
4 hours is
despite me?
crazy.
Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't
Oh,
think
this
of a
game is
single thing
classic.
that might improve the experience for you. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain.
Oh,
Let's
boy.
see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Okay. What game is this?
Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our
This part is
backstory?
great.
What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you
The
from
Stanley
up high in your
Parable.
creep tower. Perhaps for some
Nah,
sort of
not
twisted,
not the game I'm
purpose.
playing. Like this right
Yes,
here.
that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Okay.
Oh,
Firewatch.
no.
Firewatch. Okay. Is it good?
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around.
That
No
thing
right
is what
or
we
wrong
want.
directions,
Pause.
no
Big
path to follow.
pause.
You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay,
Never
I'm
played,
going to get
but
us
it
out of
looks
here.
fun.
Let's find another
Mm.
game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing. Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't
Okay.
any possibility that
Rocket
you could
League.
get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun. Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on?
Lol,
Stanley,
this
I have
game
a
is
thought.
amazing.
And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball.
What?
Race.
Yes. Oh,
Hey, good
goodness,
night,
that
brother.
really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley,
Have a
I'm like a
great
child
night.
in a confectionery shop.
You too,
I
Brody.
simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
Wait, what? Hey, yo, pause. Wait, what? Ew.
Are you enjoying
More
this,
balls.
Stanley? Are you having fun?
Yes.
Is this a real
Ew,
video game?
pause. The
Well, I
hell?
sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over. That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I
GM.
let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
Sounds salty as hell, my boy. Sounds salty as hell, my boy. You mad because I don't want to play a game? Let's hit the ass, my boy. You're not coming back?
Hold on. What are you doing?
Oh, now you want to come back.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you.
You
How
said you
can
want to
write a
leave.
story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Oh, get out of here.
Suddenly feels like Portal lol.
Right. Porter was a good game. Bro, what the hell? Okay. Can I go this way? No? Okay. What's happening?
Backrooms.
Right. That's what it feel like.
I
Okay.
wonder what he found. If
I
what he
wonder what you
wanted was
found.
to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I
Mm,
am. That is what I mean to this
you're not.
world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once
Mm,
this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
okay, buddy. Okay.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is
Wait,
this
what?
Stanley's office?
What? Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, I
And so
guess I
he
am.
detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I'm not gonna lie. Okay.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go,
Whoa.
from here, it's, left.
Left? Okay.
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake.
Bro, what the fuck? You making a point.
No,
Okay.
not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Yeah, go ahead. Open this door. I'm gonna go right through it.
Now, let's see. We went down
There's this door right
right,
here.
left, down, left, right.
Yo, what the hell?
Okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
I'm gonna walk to the door. You gonna close it. Okay? Is it okay? Whoa.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a
Up,
spoiler.
down, left,
Quick,
right,
Stanley,
left,
close your
right, A,
eyes.
B, start.
Okay. We just
Right.
need to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely
What's my number?
unusable.
Four what?
Rather than waste my
437?
time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Bro, what?
All of
Okay.
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what? No,
What?
no, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley,
Yo.
did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking
This
you?
is your
I'm the one
shit.
who wrote the story.
Right.
It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here
See ya.
somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley.
What
Let's
the
find the
fuck?
story.
I don't know what. What? Okay. Okay. Okay.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here
Bro,
before.
what the
Do we
fuck?
just... Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I
No,
find it
bro.
unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Bro.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
Bro, how
mean?
did you go around?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
I
Perhaps
have
he
no
had simply
idea.
missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story
Yo.
is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No,
Bro,
wait,
what?
never
Wait,
mind. Not
what?
the story.
What?
Okay, let's head back the
What?
other way and retrace our steps.
Bro, what? Okay.
Now
What
this...
the
Well, I'll be
fuck?
honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
What?
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
You know what I'm saying? You feel
You've
me?
done a lot of hard work, and it really paid
Yeah.
off. So, good job.
Thank you.
Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all.
The
We
GG.
both know you didn't put in
No.
any action for that win. Some people
Like,
win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
okay.
Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Bruh. What's going on?
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow
Okay.
the line. How simple is that?
I'm not gonna lie, that's tempting right there. That's really tempting. I'm taking it. I'm taking it. I'm taking it.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to
Okay.
destiny. Though,
That-
here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward,
Y'all wanna keep
are we
following this,
applying
though?
a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me.
Bro, what?
Now, we can both agree that the nature
What?
of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's
do?
subjective
Okay.
experience of that existence. Right?
Okay.
Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this
Can I
office,
walk on a wall?
is
Hey, what
this
the
office,
fuck?
in
What?
fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Bro, what the fuck is going on, bro? Hey, yo. Okay. Okay.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern.
What about it?
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you
Okay.
study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to
Why?
miss anything.
Okay, financial records, corporate imbalances, monthly ledgers, annual
You
reviews.
missed the fern.
I did. I missed the firm. This the firm? This the firm? The fuck is a firm? A firm. This the firm? This the firm? It sound goofy as hell. Is this the firm? I'm gonna keep going.
It's the plant low.
It's the plant. That's a firm, bro. What the fuck? Okay. Hmm. Okay. A firm.
Wait,
Uh.
what? We're back at the office? No. No.
Okay.
Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The
Bro,
story?
what the fuck is
Is any
going
of this
on?
ringing a bell?
What? 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 Bro.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
The fuck did I do? I followed the line.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be
It's
anything.
happening
What
again.
do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
This game is so ridiculous.
Yeah, like what the hell's going
Just
on?
have fun with it, low.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine. Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I
Okay.
believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds
Yo, he
with the
got
counter-inverted reverse door's origin.
yeah.
So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one.
Hey, yeah.
Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. Hold up, what's this? Oh,
Wait,
a
what?
confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
What?
That's really how all this goes? It's all determined?
Nice.
So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here
Hey,
on
yo.
this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will
Hey,
someone come for
yo.
us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
What the fuck? That scared the shit out of me. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. That shit did. Headphones loud as
Someone was
hell.
following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked
What?
over his shoulder now,
Nigga, what? Yo, what? What?
he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of
Roll
time.
scene.
Somebody's following me? Bro, this ain't gonna turn to a scary game, bro, right? Ain't no way. Said somebody
When
following me.
Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was
Okay.
nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the bosses suffer losses, then that's what the boss chose? Yo, bro, what? What? Yo, what? Yo,
Bits
what?
of wall art, but okay.
Right. Uh, okay. I'm going up. Oh, okay. Hey, hey, cha, 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 cha. Hey, Rosin and thing I don't know. Uh, elevator music. Uh, got so amusing. Hey, I'm loving this music.
Seen this path before. Let's go.
I, shit, I don't know what's going on, but it got me hit the salsa. It's a tough. All right, all right. Damn, where am I going to heaven? Like, goddamn. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey,
Oh, heaven or hell, we'll see.
shit. I'm liking this. Hey, hey, hey. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get me there. Hey, yo.
Bruh.
Like, what?
Damn, Max playing the game and didn't tell me.
My bad, Mo. Bro, yo. So I sat here for a good ass minute, going nowhere. All right, all right. They had their fun. They had their fun with me. All right, yeah, they got it.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk
Knowing this
guarded the
game, there's
terrible
probably an
truth that his
achievement for
boss had been
staying in
keeping
there.
from him. And so the boss had
Probably.
assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay, I did. Okay, okay.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he
Okay.
feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh shit. Okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh shit! You capping? You lying? You lying? You lying?
The
You
door
lying?
behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Yo, nothing gonna pop out, right? Nothing gonna
At
pop
this
out.
point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Only thing I'm confronting is your goddamn lies, my boy. What the fuck? What is that? Is that good? Is that bad? If I jump down, well. Hey! Okay.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great
wait.
loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a
Oh
blind man.
shit.
And so he resigned and willingly
I'm
accepted
sorry,
this
but
vile
that's
end
hilarious.
to his
I'm
brief
laughing
and
too
shallow
hard.
life.
Oh shit.
Well, Stanley,
Oh shit.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body,
No, it
killing
didn't.
him instantly.
No, it didn't. Oh. Okay.
Whoa, dow, dow, dow.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same.
Yo, this
Do you
game.
see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Whoa. What? Okay. Oh.
Oh, you found the museum. Heck yeah.
I guess so. Button sounds. Okay. There is a skeleton. Wait, what? Am I Stanley? Are you spying on me? Oh. Yeah, what's going on right now? What happens if it... Okay. What's going on? What's going on here? What is what? What is all this? What is all that? That's all the stuff I could do? Okay, so it's a museum. Whoa, what?
There's an exit somewhere. I forget where though.
See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you pick up on intuitively if you have even the most fundamental
Oh
understanding.
wow, that's pure hell right there. That's pure hell. I ain't gonna hold you. Alright. Where I started? Bro, what? Warzone? Okay. Okay. Exit?
Oh,
Why is you
look
laughing?
at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Okay. If I turn it off, it's gonna reset, ain't it?
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
It's not seen. I'm gonna be honest.
But listen to me.
Okay, nah, I
You can
lied.
still
I seen
save
it.
those two. You
Facts.
can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation.
Yo, get me out.
There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do,
Yo, bro,
choose it.
chill,
Don't
bro.
let time choose for you. Don't let
They killed me.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You know, new content? Alright, let's just get it.
New content? What does that mean, new content?
No, I had enough of these. Come on.
This is a mindfuck.
It really is. It really is. This about scary as hell.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Okay.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Okay.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Okay.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's
I guess me too.
Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Okay.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle?
What? Yo, bro.
Save your jumps.
I can save him, but I can't jump right now. Okay, I'm gonna save him.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Should I go back to waste him?
Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours
I'm good,
of new
brother.
content. And
I'm good.
Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
What about that firm?
That's it?
Bro, what?
You've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game cheapix trophies and around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game?
See,
And
bro.
we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about.
No.
No
bro.
frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Did we really have a
What do
good
you
time?
say, friend?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Not gonna lie, I'm not answering anybody that whispers from a vent saying they want to show me something. I'm good. I'm good. I'm
You
good.
don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine.
Nah,
You're a dork
nah.
Anyway, so who cares?
Nah, you was a dork. You whispered from a vent. You was in a vent. I want to show you something. Show me what? Hell no.
IT.
Like,
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
you want to share his
he
little
entered the door
secret.
on his
I'm
left.
good. I'm good, buddy.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
What about that firm?
The lounge was grand, majestic. Perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
He's got popcorn and cotton
And so
candy
he
down there.
detoured through the maintenance section,
See, look, nah.
walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Trying to lure me in. Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his... Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, I'm done.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his
Did I
situation.
do all that?
But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Oh, fuck. Damn. Come on. Let's get it.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yeah.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Can I, like...
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance,
Went the wrong way.
death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start? Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
Oh boy.
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game.
As
What?
long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you.
Turn it off. Turn IT off.
Seriously? Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Don't let
I ain't turning it off. I ain't turning off the game. Imagine if I actually did.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here!
You
In
don't
the
exit the
vent.
game.
I
You
want to
turn your
show
whole
you
station off.
something.
But what? Hey, you know what? Maybe he do got some candy in here. Maybe. What is it? You got some candy?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the
Well,
new
now
Ultra
maybe it's
Deluxe
just as
content
good.
turned out to be? Well, it got me
Mm.
thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I
What?
call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Okay. Chat, what is this?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where
TBH,
so
I'm
many
not sure
games that
what this
aspire to
is.
be more than games
I've not
end up
played a
less
lot
than
of this
any form of
content.
art. Stanley Parable
Hey, yo.
strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless
Damn.
husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Sorry to hear that. Okay.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Okay, right.
Also a good game if you're interested.
Slay the Princess? I don't know what that is.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games.
Pressurized Gas, a fart?
Years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Is he trying to prove a point? Like, is the game creators trying to prove a point about their game?
I think so. Also sorry for lag low.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
I'm not gonna lie, Gengi. You
preachy.
are.
Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness.
You are a little
quite
bit.
shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You don't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure.
Come on,
like I let these
Gengi.
people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
I mean, I'm playing it, so I mean, you still got people playing it.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
Not gonna lie.
A skip button?
I kind of, yeah.
Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews.
Classic indeed. This game will be around for a while.
Yeah.
That's my motto today, and it's always
I definitely see that.
I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
For real? I can get a skip button?
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time.
Forward in time? Oh shit! I should have listened.
You see, you were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already...
Yo, please.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works. Perhaps
Starting
that
to
would have
sound
been a
like one
smart
of
thing
those
to check
YouTube
on before I
essayists
went on about
role.
this whole exercise.
Like, for real.
Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is who runs pressurized gas will instantly run out and implement a new... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can
The
ramble on
door's
to myself
gone.
about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place?
Bro,
I
just
don't
make a
think
damn
one can enter a
door.
room without a door of some sort, or
You
a
just want to
window or something
talk,
like
bro.
that.
You just want to talk, bro. Oh
Stanley!
my
Stanley!
God.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been
Let's
12
stop
hours.
talking and do
You've just been
something.
frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley,
Yeah,
the door is
what's on my
gone. It's
way?
completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times.
Bro,
And
he's
there's
still
no
talking.
door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back.
Bro,
Oh,
what?
my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
A week?
Or 2 weeks. I've
2
been sitting
weeks?
here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single
Dropping my diss
person
in
to
the
speak
morning.
with. And you'd think
Holy
that's
shit.
just how it's always been, right? Me talking
Alright.
and you saying nothing.
Oh,
Would you
shit.
think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing?
Bro, you're talking too much, man. What the fuck?
Hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about
It's been
you
like,
and
what,
about
2
us
weeks?
and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I
2
stopped keeping
weeks.
track after a year.
A
Have you ever
year?
sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed
Some got me
opportunities. I
everlasting
felt
F it up.
nothing at all but regret. for the
Everlasting
longest
fucked
time,
up.
Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur.
Yeah,
of the
that's
deepest
crazy as
longing to
hell.
undo the
I ain't gonna
past.
lie.
And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every
Bro, you know what? Alright. 2 years? What's 2 years? 3 years? I'm cool with 3 years. Where you at? What is it, like 5 years, 6 years? Could be a decade.
Oh no, did he die?
Right, did
Anybody
he?
knows this game?
This is the Stanley Parable game. The narrator is supposed to tell me what to do, and I got a choice to either follow him or not. Okay.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the
Okay.
jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little
What the fuck?
thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful
Is he
demands.
crashing
But
out?
then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising
crashing
heart the
out?
words that they are speaking into
Man's
the
crashing
world.
hard.
As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything. And
Okay. Yo, what's happening, bro?
the end is never the end, 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 is never the.
Yo, he's
You might be
gone.
on crash on you. He getting quiet knowing you ain't with it.
Bruh. He's gone. That nigga gone.
NSAF.
Yo, he's gone, bruh. What has been like, what? 2 decades? Oh, shit. Oh, nah, bro. Yo, Tom has passed. I'm not gonna lie. Tom has passed, bro. Oh. Been like 40 years or something. 60 years, probably. I don't know.
Bruh.
Yo. What?
We got wildlife.
Right.
That is way more than 60 years old now.
200 years. 300. Oh. Should I skip again? Can I? Oh, shit.
The whole building is coming apart and now there's sand. That's like thousands of years. Run
Yeah.
fast and no run end it.
He said run. Yo. Where am I running to? Yeah, thousands. Thousands of years passed, bro. Yo.
Okay.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
That nigga talked to you earlier off and left you there.
Right. Right. New content.
Here.
Should I hit this new
Oh,
content?
good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Okay. Show me what?
No.
Damn, but it's too late. It's too late. Ew.
Don't
All
follow
right.
the crash out, bro.
Look, ain't nowhere else I can go.
This is so fuck low.
Yeah, I don't. There ain't nothing else I can do.
We cook GG's.
We cooked, bro.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable. and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be.
Oh
The
yeah?
original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and
Oh
any
yeah?
new content for it should live up to that legacy. So
No.
forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
Are you
Which
sure
is
about that?
why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Where should he plant this?
Planned it to a T. Okay, wait, hold up. Okay,
Yes, you see, isn't this
okay.
far superior to a measly
no.
port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel, an entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Okay.
Absolutely amazing. What a game.
Calling it the Stanley Parable
Yeah.
2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Okay.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts,
Your hotness is
that
crazy.
surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
This is the evil Jarvis.
Like, hey yo, I have no idea of what I'm doing right now.
I was thinking male GLaDOS.
Hey, I don't know who that is.
Here we are. Go on.
Whoa.
Try out some of the new features.
Cause baiting hard.
Mm, I'm falling for it. Reassurance bucket. Please, no screenshots. Okay. The reassurance
A
bucket
common
sounds.
complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was
Oh yes,
confusing and
bucket friend
paradoxical,
roll.
that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who
See
played.
how he lock in with us and
I'm
lock us
happy
in
to say
lobbies.
that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the
Okay.
Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of
Fuck the
jarring
bucket.
cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me
Hey, yeah.
than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Uh,
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just
it does?
has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits
What?
of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more.
I'll put
awaits
it
you
down.
in the Stanley Parable 2.
I don't want this bucket. The fuck? The hell with this fucking bucket. It's not reassuring. What the fuck?
Ultimate Bucket Stanley.
Does anyone give out awards for most
Oh,
endurable
shit.
bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't
Infinite
already.
hole. Hey, yo. Infinite hole.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
All right. Okay. Okay, cool. All right.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision. We're moving on. You know what, Stanley? I actually think the jump circle is
That's
a
why
pretty
you
good
said
idea. I'd like to
save
hang
my
on to that
jumps.
for this-
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I bet.
Stanley,
That was
this
cool.
is your wife on Race Yak's intercom. Stop leading this man on and go check your chicken or something.
Hey, yeah. Free new plus easy trophy. I can't believe it's that simple. I want a trophy? Yo, Trip, they get me. Get yours right now. Pull the lever, receive your new trophy. No more steps. It just works. Get yours right now.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes.
Totally
You see,
not a
you'll
trap.
come to this lever.
Right.
When you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
All right, bet. Okay, cool.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet? Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect
Yo,
all of
what
them,
the
and
fuck?
then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
You're
Okay.
looking at different ways he wants to kill you.
Right.
Proly yellow.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Infinite hole. That sounds crazy.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right.
I like that.
Falling. You can fall until the end
Pause.
of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Okay. So do I fall? Do I go in there? Do I want to?
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say
Looks
so.
like fun.
Now then, since
Yeah.
you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you
Okay.
can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
What if I want to just keep falling?
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do
Why?
it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Nah, I'm good. I want. It's an infinite
Okay,
hole.
Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole.
What are you
Is it
talking
a very,
about?
very deep hole? To be certain.
No, keep falling.
It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From
What
one
are you talking about?
perspective,
Why is I
the
coming
infinite
close?
is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so
Why is he cheating me
clever.
though?
Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this
Keep
on
jumping
me.
in.
Maybe you're the
Okay.
problem.
Told you.
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite?
Called his bluff.
If that works for you,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very... Oh, for heaven... You see, I was right. The problem is you.
No, it's
The problem
you.
is that you like holes too much. Not normal.
It
A
is normal.
person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no.
Lowell rolling on the floor laughing.
Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well,
You're
I suppose
right,
once
Stanley,
again there's
you like
nothing to
holes
do here.
too.
If you decide
Right.
you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Now.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to... Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite.
Why is that,
I'm
Stanley?
starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep.
Wait,
even
I'm
though
Stanley.
that lacks overall standards
What's his
for
name?
accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of
Yeah,
my
annoy
lie has
this
come
guy
to haunt
since
me.
he annoyed you.
Not only is the hole
Right.
not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or
He's
even a
just
very
the
aggressive
narrator.
divot.
That's technically his name.
How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is
I'm pressing it.
Teleport button not working?
No, it's not
You
working.
sure?
I'm
Well, I mean-
sure.
I really don't have an explanation. It was working. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone.
That's right,
You
Stanley,
get to be
you
with
mad
the
you
hole,
don't run
I get to do
nobody.
literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope
Don't leave
you
me like
and the
that.
hole have a wonderful rest of eternity.
You gonna leave it like that? Get me out the hole. Piece of shit. Yo, what the fuck? Damn.
Maybe try jumping.
Yo. I can't jump. Yo. Okay. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm chilling. I'm chilling.
Oh shit.
I'm chilling. Know what I'm saying? I got my bucket. Even though it's forced on me, but I got my bucket. Change your perspective. What the fuck? Boy, you ugly and sad, boy. Hold on, some little Jersey club in here. Oh, I can't do it. Damn.
And now. What is this game?
Right. Hold on, I can make a beat with this. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. What the fuck is going on, bro? What?
What the hell kind of acid trip is this?
Right.
Oh, this some adult swim shit.
Right. Falling down the hole, going really crazy. What am I supposed to do? Feeling really lazy. I'm just chilling here. Don't you call my name?
It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up
Willy
to keep
Wonka
you
tunnel
really
type
truly
shit.
focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to
Pause.
all of them.
Bro,
Stanley.
pause. Pause. What is you talking about?
Stanley, I'll be back. Toodle pip.
Yo. Who's yo? Yo, what's your problem? Okay.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Ain't no fucking way.
For the
Ain't
Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players
ain't no way.
really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that
Lol,
wonderful?
pause, Stanley, is you gay? I knew you were fruity the way you talk.
Hey yo. Nah, facts though. But hold on, he might say Stanley. Hold on. He ain't gonna say my name.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the
Bruh.
final game, this button will say your name, whatever
Give me
name
my
that
money back,
is.
bro.
Here, let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I
Nigga,
want you
no.
to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being
Don't
heartbroken
press
as
the
Jim,
button.
seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust.
What you talking,
Do you
bro?
feel it?
Become Jim.
Are you really, truly
No.
Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
I'm not Jim. All right. I'm not Jim. I'm not Jimmy. Nigga, nah. I'm me. Open the door. Open the door. Open the door. Open the door.
Jimothy.
Jimothy, Jimothy, Jimolithy. Open the door. That ain't me. You got the wrong guy. You got the wrong guy. Open the door. Open the door, fam. Open the door. Open the door. I'm Jim. I'm Jimmy. I'm Jim. I'm Jim. I'm Jim.
Yes, you see? What a thrill,
Yeah.
what a rush. That was you.
What a rush.
The
Yeah.
button described you. Do it again, do it again.
I'm Jim.
It
I'm Jim.
hits even harder the second time. If this were the
Yeah.
only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2,
It does,
would
it
still be
does.
worth the money.
Identity
Let's
theft.
take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Nah, I'm Jim.
Oh there, cowboy. Sometimes
Yeah,
a
I'm
person
Jim.
can be too much Jim.
Nah, I'm Jim,
Turn the
right?
Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Nah, I'm Jim. What happened? I'm Jim. Don't stop now. Let me get out of here, bro. Hey, yo, pause. Hey, yo, I'm out. I'm out of here. And I ain't no goddamn Jim either.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature. An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes,
No.
yes, it will go at the end of the...
No, it won't. It won't.
Well, we'll figure that out later.
All right. Setting world champion. Settings world. Mostly. Oh, he changed the name. Yeah, that was crazy. Free trophy. All right, let's go here. I'm gonna get my money back. Jump circle, free trophy, the button that says merch, bucket, decorations,
Infinite
uh,
hole.
yeah, infinite hole. We didn't try this one right here, and we didn't try this one right here. And we didn't do the merch. All right, we gonna do those, and then we gonna go back to the infinite hole. I ain't gonna hold you. That shit was fire. Where's 3? I'm right there, so 3 is back this way. Okay, I got lied to. Decorations. Okay. Button that says gym. Okay, merch. Okay, bet. Found that. Bro, what's up? Is it on top? Wish I could run. Oh, this the exit. Is it?
All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to
No.
move on now?
No. You know what? All right. That ain't actually
You
talk
have
to
your
me.
bucket.
Yeah, I got my bucket for life. Yeah, I got my bucket for life.
Are running.
All right, running. I can't can't do the hole no more. Okay, I think that's it. I, that gotta be it, right? Because I'm at 5 right now.
Your bird is asking.
Huh? Your vert is asking. What you mean? Are you serious? That's it? That's it? All right, I tried everything then. I tried everything.
Jump circle score.
Oh, vertical. Okay. Hey, look,
Tilted.
this is what they give me. Yeah, I mean, this is what they give me. Yeah, I mean, if it was me, I'd be jumping high. My character got some weak knees, man. I mean, he can't be doing all that moving and jumping. Yeah, Chad, I think that's it. I tried everything. Yo, why do I still got this bucket, bro?
Ouch.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going
No
to
wonder
work.
you got the
There's
bucket.
definitely a good game
Yeah,
in there somewhere. Say,
yeah.
let's do an
This is your
experiment.
emotional
I'll
support
arrange
bucket.
these new features together,
Mm.
and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
I guess
Okay,
the bucket is
are you
reassuring, I
ready?
guess. I don't
Here
know.
it is. I give you the
It's not.
Stanley Parable 2.
Okay.
I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of...
No,
Okay, never mind.
it's not, bro.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes. Yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to
The
create a
narrator is
sequel
a big
that would
bucket of
capture all the
Canadian moose
magic of
piss.
the first game.
For real.
I
Like, what
wanted
is he trying to
fans to
sell me
love
right
it.
now?
No matter
What,
how
what's,
good
what's...
these gags are, they won't stand on their own.
Top
They
flight
would
grade
need the
A.
structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait,
I'm not buying what he's
maybe
trying
that's
to.
it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game.
Yo, this game
Could
long
it
as
possibly
hell.
work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect.
This game really don't
Go
got no
ahead.
end though.
Take a look.
Alright.
This is only one of the endings, lol. This game is crazy.
Right. Whoa. Okay. Alright. Okay.
This is the story of...
Okay.
All
The
of his
balloons.
co-workers were gone.
The
What
balloons he
could it
wanted to
mean?
pick.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, my bucket. Do I want to pick up the bucket though? Like, is it really that reassuring? Does it make me feel better?
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Damn. I put Stanley put down the bucket. Stanley done put down the bucket. Okay.
Oh, well, now you're in it.
Stanley clutched
Yep.
the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Stanley went to the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed
There's
him,
one of the
of course,
trophies
because
over there.
buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it
Bro,
was
what?
okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Bro, what is he talking about? Yo, what is this game?
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple
What?
enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need
What
to
you
know
say.
about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin.
What is he on about?
Item 1. Is this a
Oh, now
bucket?
the ultimate IQ test.
The ultimate IQ test?
You stupid pea.
You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, is that a bucket? Like, chat, y'all hearing this shit? Of course it's not a fucking bucket.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket. Not
Come
an
on
actual
now.
bucket.
Of course it's not a
Item
bucket.
2. Is this a bucket?
Look, shit, I know my buckets. Let me see. The handle. The bottom.
This game is
Hmm.
amazing.
That's not a fucking bucket. That's not a bucket, bro.
Correct. It is a 3D printed
Come on
recreation of
now.
a
I
bucket.
know my
Of
buckets,
an
boy.
actual bucket.
That's a pail.
You know what I mean?
Item 3.
Oh, okay.
Is this a bucket?
Yes, that's a fucking bucket.
Correct.
That's
This
a fucking
is
bucket.
a bucket.
That's a bucket right there, my boy. I can tell.
Item 4. Is this a bucket? What? Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's
It's a
just
bucket
move on
truck.
to the next one.
Don't give a fuck. It's a bucket to me. I named it bucket.
Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket.
We'll be leaning if they bring up a Grand Marquis next.
Yeah.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Can I get closer? I feel like that's not a bucket. That's a bucket.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
But there's no metal.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Bro, no, bro.
Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless... Is that what you think? Answer me.
Is that what you
straight,
think?
Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
Look. I spent time on this earth, bro. I've seen some buckets. And I've seen some shits that is buckets. And I'm telling you, everything is a fucking bucket. Everything is a bucket.
Too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay. Here we go.
What?
You thinking outside that bucket pee.
You feel me? Yeah.
What
You try to get me fucked up.
Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was
Mm.
everything a bucket?
Yeah, you funny as hell with that
Every
one.
single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you,
Okay.
Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news.
Either.
We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change
Okay.
the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
The end is never the end. It's never the end. It's never the end.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I feel like the game is trying to make me like the bucket. In reality, I give no fucks about that damn bucket. Alright? Let me keep it a bean. I don't care about that
When
bucket.
Stanley came to a set of
Give me my
two
fucking
open doors,
bucket!
he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by
But the
the
bucket
employee
loves
lounge
you, lol.
first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
How do I get that?
The statue.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off.
Yo!
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly
No,
and trite
bro.
explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall
Yo, why
of
is he
surprises
cooking
and
me?
delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Bro, what? Yo, what the fuck is happening?
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting
Rude
or
as
a
hell.
photo? He could
Right.
no longer recall. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Whoa. Okay. Stairs, something to do with stairs. Somewhere both red and blue. Okay, I know where 4 is. Nearby a fireplace. A private but smelly place for an important person. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Good luck. Trust the completionist instinct. All right, all right. Let's move on. All right. Okay, I guess he got tired. Okay, I guess. All right.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah. Want some Pokemon shit.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanley under your belt.
Okay. Thank you.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
Bro, what the fuck, bruh? Come on.
I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had...
I shouldn't have come down here, bro.
How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
Yeah, this
now,
is mad meta.
I speak these words
Mad
as
meta.
shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that?
Oh, God.
This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Okay.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Oh, boy.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
Existential crisis
But on this
time.
particular day, her walk was
Yep.
interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town
Good stuff.
talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
All right. Alrighty.
Just a step through
We'll
this
call
door,
the
Stanley
cops.
thought to himself. That's all I
Right.
need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Where's my bucket? Oh, there we go.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his
Now
arms,
I've got
and
to
a
go.
wave of
It's been
comfort
fun.
rushed over
Have a
him.
good night, yo.
All right, man. Thank you for pulling up.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chin. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come
What?
together here because we care about you very much.
What?
It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The
What about
bucket
it?
isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're
Okay.
the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before.
You gave it to
I
me.
know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another
So?
story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
How about no? Yeah, that's boring as hell. I'm not gonna lie.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Hey, yo.
It's as classic now as it was back then.
Tight shit.
Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more
Well, that
content
shit sound like
exactly
me.
like this. But if we want to do
It's like,
that,
nah.
you're going to have to give something up.
Where am I?
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's
Okay.
why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This
But we're not gonna get
is
rid
the
of it, though.
Bucket Destroyer.
Oh, chill, bro.
I think it'll
Oh,
make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it
damn,
also
that's
was
fucked
not in
up.
the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
No, you're mad
Can you
jealous.
guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Hey, you know what?
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait.
Why am I clutching
I
it?
can hear you saying,
What am
how
I...
does a character with only one
Fucking
personality
give it.
trait
Throw it in
deserve to
there.
join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise
the fucking
the
bucket
fans
in
will
here.
be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the
Nigga, I'm
classic Stanley
trying.
Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting.
Nigga,
Drive
open the fucking
fans,
gate.
Stanley, give the fans what they
Open the
want.
fucking
Hurry
gate.
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
All
Stanley
right.
decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Yep, I
Stanley
did.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay, so we're somewhere both red and blue. Think I know where.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The
Nah.
broom closet. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I went the wrong way. I went the wrong way.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit.
Stanlerines.
I'm sure it will come to me.
Stanlerines is fire. Not gonna lie. I got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. Say that's a lovely purse. Okay. Good try. Good try on the bars. Good try. Hey. What? Feel so high, know why? I touch the sky. All right, it's enough of that.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
The bucket is everything.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Fegler and Marines. All right. Good name, buddy.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Thank you. It's comforting.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
All right. Went the wrong way.
But of course, Stanley and the bucket thought better of it and realized they simply had too much to live for. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
427. Damn.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These
What the fuck is he talking
raced
about?
furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system. When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror.
No, I
Had this
didn't.
been the bucket's plan all along?
It
To
was
take
mine.
over the machine and claim the power for itself?
I wanted the
How
power.
could the bucket have betrayed him like this?
I
Stanley
betrayed the
was
bucket.
prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust
Throw
when
me away.
suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen.
What?
Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Okay.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along?
That's a nigga bird right there.
Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Bruh, what's going on right now? All right.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Where is that last trophy?
When Stanley came to a
Is it
set
this
of
way?
two open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it
I think it's this
perfectly
way.
well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Is it this way?
Stanley
find
was so
out.
bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you.
All right, bet. I got it. I got it.
In the middle of something,
got
you
it.
have zero
I got it.
consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look,
There we go.
Let me prove it. Let me prove. And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So,
Yeah.
instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Wow.
Now listen carefully, this is
Wow.
important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Wow.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time?
That was so fucked
The problem
up.
is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Fuck your happiness, nigga.
No, wait. Where are you going?
This way. You going this way?
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
You try to take my bucket away. You know what I mean?
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
I thought about it. I thought about it.
No! Oh, thank God. You lived.
Yeah.
You had me worried there for a moment.
Mm.
Now, can we please get back to the other room?
Yeah. When I'm done.
No. No. What are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me.
Second
I can't
time
go
the
back to
charm.
what I was before. If
Nah.
you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
I'm okay with it. Just relax. Know what I'm doing.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
All right, bro. Damn, you don't gotta cry about it. Like, God damn. Cry, baby, bro. All right, bro.
Yes, perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about. I know you'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
All right, bro. All right.
No,
I don't like that.
perhaps not.
I don't like that room. I don't even got a real reason. I'm gonna jump off that thing, man. I get to jump.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask.
It was, though.
Like you wanted to make a choice after all.
Hell yeah.
Well, this one is yours.
Oh, word? Say I won't.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
All right, back.
Stanley, I'm sorry.
Bro,
but
what
I
the
have to
fuck
put
is
a
this,
pause
bro?
on things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
Bro, what is this?
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would
Okay.
love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Okay.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Okay.
And
Oh,
here was a second Stanley. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the warehouse. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you
that's fucked
continue
up.
to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
That's fucked up.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
Bruh, nah. Yes, I do.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, under the stairs. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything. Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Okay.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was behind the boss's office. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Yo, bro, what? I can't even skip it. Yeah.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a
No,
lot of
it
time
don't.
making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else. And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other.
Why are we
Except for the other moments picking up
why
figurines, which it was exactly like.
why? What's happening? Why recap the moment? What's going on? Okay. Why?
And then there was no more. Because we've
What
caught
the
up to the
fuck?
present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Yo. Yeah.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Bro, why? What? Yo, what's going on?
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in
Yo.
our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Yo, Chad, what
Yes,
the
I
fuck is
love that
going on,
video.
bro? What? Yo.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room. These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one. This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it, the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the Figlarines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this? Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the... Oh, yes! The two doors! Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then, somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the
Hey,
memory
yo.
zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Okay, this is day number 295, tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket,
Hey,
the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes.
hey,
It's
yo.
unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
Stanley Parable. Yo, what? Chat, what the fuck? Did it just turn to a different game? Is it gonna be scary now or some shit? The hell's going on?
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Nigga, what? Somebody following me. Matter of time. Clutch my
Stanley
bucket,
picked up the
boy.
bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was no, never mind.
Had to get that game real quick, feel me?
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
I don't know.
And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
It's good.
Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Game is decent. Like a mind fuck.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
We know you like a challenge.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out What I gotta do? I don't know what I gotta
Stanley
do.
and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them. As the machine whirred into motion, and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's walking had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
Face with tears of joy, 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 face with tears of joy.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own?
It was given to me.
Hubris that blinded him. Can
What?
you see that the bucket is far more
Face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy.
My short life. Yo, why is they hating on me? Yo, Chad, I'm not gonna fucking lie, bro. That shit scared the fuck out of me, bro. That shit scared the fuck out of me, bro. I'm not gonna hold you, bro. I'm like, bro,
And
what?
certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Ooh. Can I get my bucket? Can I jump? I can't jump. I'll see what they're doing. How bad I want the bucket, huh? Oh, let me show you real quick.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
No.
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't
I got my
reset
bucket back.
him. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Damn.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
I'm tired of this, man.
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. off on another thrilling adventure together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now.
Reboot the game entirely.
Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Are they for real?
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it?
Feel
the
what?
broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
What?
I can really feel it now.
Nigga, I can't feel that.
It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
Yeah,
I know
fuck
how
that.
hard it must be, given the
It ain't
pressure that
hard.
the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now. But you're coming to a staircase. Stanley and the bucket walked
Right.
upstairs to the boss's office.
No, I didn't. I went downstairs. Do I want to go down? No, I don't want to do that. All right. I went upstairs. I did.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
It was okay.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see, there's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look. Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Oh, God.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Chat. This fucking button is annoying, bro. It's like I it's made to to make me give up, bro. It's made to make me give up.
You heartless bastard.
Nah, you were the bastard. You did it on purpose.
Purely to spite me. Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower.
All right, Chad, I'm out. I'm not gonna lie. I'm out, bro. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. I appreciate everybody that pulled up. Thank you so much. I mean, Yachty.